Well, hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Mel Van DeVort, and today I continue my conversation with Michelle Kinnett. We explored the significance of setting daily intentions, focusing on who God has created us to be, and being proactive in our work toward our unique purpose. We explored how embracing intention, taking small steps, and maintaining a reflective mindset can lead to a more fulfilling life. So join our conversation as we uncover the path to embracing our full potential and achieving our goals. Are you in a new season of your life? Are you stuck and searching for clarity so you can make a career change? Do you just need the courage to switch careers? Are you ready to follow God's plan for your career? Welcome to Choose Your Next Yes. Hi, Kindred. I'm Mel, a career transition coach, mom of grown-ups, coffee lover, and God girl. I've had a lot of big life changes, and I haven't always been clear about God's plan for me. This led to stress and anxiety and a lack of clarity and courage to make a career move. I finally started listening to God's voice to find clarity and peace and stopped being scared to make a move and achieve my career transition goals. Now, my mission is to help you learn to listen to God's voice and know when to say yes to the career you've always wanted and no to everything else. Let me show you how to clarify your purpose and find courage to pursue your personal and professional goals in your midlife and beyond. Throw down your self-doubt, dust off your dreams, Kindred. It's time to reset and refine and reclaim the woman you once aspired to be. Those are affirmations that help keep me motivated and help keep me going.
Yes, absolutely. And when we see progress, then it excites us and
Yes.
it helps us to have that energy to continue to move forward. And it is important to have goals set. But if we're constantly measuring ourselves towards the goal, we're never there.
Yes.
And we have to be able to measure ourselves backwards. We have to see how much progress that we've made. So over the last week, over the last 30 days, over the last 3 months, what progress is there that we have made? We do have our goals that we set our sights on, but if we aren't doing anything but looking towards the goal, then we're falling short every day.
Yes.
But if we're looking backwards and we're seeing where we've come from, then we can continue to see that the journey is moving forward.
Yes.
And so oftentimes we, and I was thinking about this morning, just for myself, I can really get into this place where I beat myself up for not being further along in comparison to where I want to be, because I always have a goal set. But I catch myself now. The difference is the thing is, regardless of what tools we implement, like I said earlier, it's a daily battle because our brains are still our brains. They're still going to protect us and to go towards the negative. And so it's something now that I've just gotten better at catching and shifting it. Why did I think that? That is not true. And then I can shift that around. But if we're continually setting a goal, well, once we hit, this is something that I've worked with my clients with as well. Once we get closer to that goal is not going to seem as unachievable, and we're ready to set a new goal. So your goal is always growing. It's always moving into your future. The goal is not to catch up with. The goal is to bring us forward and allow us to become the person that achieves it. And it's that transformation in that journey.
Right. So your vision and your mission rarely change, but your goals, like you said, are ever changing because you are setting goals, you are meeting those goals, and you're setting new goals. And that reflective mindset, like you said, it keeps you motivated when you see how far you've come. Don't think about how far you've got to go because your journey is never going to end. I mean, with weight loss, yes, maybe you got a goal and you hit that goal, but you don't want to stop there because once you stop with your health habits, your eating habits, the good stuff, then you're going to go right backward. So you always have to maintain that goal of,
Mhm.
or set those goals and start maintaining getting there.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things that I had to think about this week. My health coach she gave me this whole entire month of how I was supposed to eat, and I was supposed to do the intermittent fasting, and I didn't do it perfectly, but I still did it. And she never once made me feel bad because I didn't do it exactly the way she said. She's like, all right, you did really good. And maybe you didn't do it exactly the way I said, but you're making strides. You are achieving at least something. Set small goals. One of the things that I keep telling my ladies, water. Nobody is ever hydrated enough. My son is a nurse, and he said very seldom does anyone come into the hospital completely hydrated. So set your goal of drinking however much is supposed to be half your body weight in water each day, and meet that goal and maintain that goal, and then set another goal. Because once you learn to set small goals or micro goals and you meet those, it gets easier to set those bigger goals. And in business or in whatever your career choice is going to be, if God sees you meeting the goals that you are setting and he can trust you with those goals, he's going to let you set bigger goals and work toward those. And he's going to help you get those and achieve those, whatever those goals are that you set.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and God will, anytime that we have something that we want or that He wants to give us, there's always work to be done
Yes.
in a season. And if we
Yes.
don't see God moving and working, then there's work for us to do and growth to happen. And
Yes.
He has, and that's just the way that He works in our lives. And we're required to expand ourselves and to grow. And the more that we grow, the more that we can step into a higher level of what He's called us to be. And that's why I think it's so powerful to understand that we have a bigger version of ourselves, and
Yes.
a full potential of who we are is beyond what we can imagine. In fact,
Yes.
the verse in Ephesians that you about being a masterpiece goes on to even say that is
Mm-hmm.
even more than what we can imagine.
Yes.
And so our fullest potential is something that we're always working towards. But how often as women are we caught up in our lives, our families, our jobs, our careers? We're just trying to survive the day
Yes.
and pouring into ourselves and growing and being able to evaluate where we are in
Mm-hmm.
comparison to where we want to be and the things that we want to work on. We don't take time for that. We're
Yes.
just living. We're reacting to our lives instead of choosing our lives and choosing
Right.
to build them. And I
Right.
think that that's a choice so much that once we see that there is a bigger potential and that God desires that for us and that He has all of this abundance and blessings. So we can
Mm-hmm.
either choose to blindly walk through our day and walk through our life, or we can be very intentional about who we want to become.
Yes.
And that starts by, being able to dive in and know how we're created, what our desires are, give ourselves permission to tap into that because God's put that there for us.
Mm-hmm.
He's created us individually. And that's going back to, the beginning when we were talking about there's no one else that has your experiences and your desires, and no one else is
Correct.
created the way that you are. And that's our responsibility to be able to figure that out. But too often we are pulled by the outside world and we settle for status quo because
Yes.
we aren't guided. We don't guide and direct ourselves to go within
Mm-hmm.
and to be still. And part of that is that point of meditation. It can be used to calm overwhelm. It can be used to calm anxiety, but it also can be used to set your intentions for the day and be very adamant about where it is that you want to go, what direction you want to go in. And I think
Yes.
that is most important for our lives and for our success is setting intentions and working towards that so that we don't veer off and end up living a life that someone else or the world has created for us.
Right. And when you set those intentions or those goals, or you set those goals and you intentionally work toward those goals and you are proactive. I think when we don't do those things and we just wallow in what we don't have or what could be and what we've lost, and we don't really reflect on how far we've come and then become proactive and move forward and take action, that's when we have regret. And you don't want to be 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road thinking, wow, I wasted 5 or 10 years and I could be somewhere in a much better spot doing what God wanted me to do rather than where I am now because I didn't take action. I wasn't proactive. I wasn't intentional in doing what God wanted me to do and being the person that he wanted me to be.
Yeah. And I think being intentional starts with asking ourselves what it is that we need, what is missing, what is it that we do want, what does God have for us?
Yes, exactly. This is great stuff today. There's just so much to chew on. And I think actually this is a good spot for us to kind of just let it soak in and let these ladies like really chew on everything that we've told them today, because like I'm wallowing in that myself right now and thinking about some of the things that I've been doing and how I could even be more intentional in my steps forward. So give us like one last really good deep thought for us to like take away and meditate on as we move into our week.
Mm, I think I think you can't go back to this enough. And I think even starting your day in with intention, with purposeful intention of who am I? Who has God created me to be? And what are the desires that I would like to fulfill that He has put in my heart?
Mm-hmm.
And what steps are you taking in that direction? if
Exactly.
if nothing else, what steps are you taking in that direction today? And can is there something that you can do to be more positive and to embrace more of who God created you to be?
Exactly. And, we always journal at the end of the day and reflect on our day. But I encourage, like, this just kind of came to me, and I'm sure this is the Holy Spirit, is definitely not me. But wouldn't it be great if during that time that we are sitting and getting close to God in the morning time, that's my time, is like very first thing. I have my coffee and I sit with God and I do my devotionals. But I think I'm going to make one small change, and I'm going to start journaling of a morning and being intentional about my day. What is it that I need to do today to be better equipped and prepared for what God is asking me to do? And then at the end of the day, write down my 10 things that I'm thankful for, and then do a reflection on the whole day. What did I accomplish? What didn't I accomplish? Why didn't I accomplish that? And how can I make sure tomorrow I do?
Yeah, that is a great way to use your journal. In the evenings, if you're journaling your future and dreaming and going to sleep with that in your on your mind and seeing how much you've accomplished in your day and your
Mm-hmm.
gratitude. And then in the mornings, if you're journaling your intentions and your goals for the day, and you couple those two up, that's a powerful way to be able to stay on track. And
Yes.
you mentioned getting off track, and I can relate to this even back during our homeschool years. And we were still homeschooling, but when I had all of them at home, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
very busy time, and we had to be very intentional. And I had a block schedule up on the
Yes.
board, and there were
Mm-hmm.
days where we got off way off track. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
got off and we didn't accomplish everything that we needed to accomplish, but it wasn't there to keep us perfect. It was there as reference the next day when it's time to
Yes.
start again. And
Yes.
to be able to use whatever tools you have, it's the understanding that every day is not going to be perfect, but
Mm-hmm.
there is also a reset for us to get back on track and to
Yes.
continue to have that goal set and the intention set to move you forward.
Right. And definitely don't wallow in it. Like we said, don't sit there and beat yourself up because you didn't accomplish what was on your list for the day before. And I don't, or for that day. And I don't mean just make this big laundry list of things you want to accomplish that day. Be very thoughtful, very intentional in the one or two things that God is wanting you to do that day to move forward and make those strides in your career, in your life choices, in whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish that he's wanting you to toward the purpose that he's created you for. So never sit there and just beat yourself up. Say, okay, you know what? I did this. I didn't do this. How am I going to fix that for tomorrow? And keep that positive mindset so you don't get in that depressive state or have that anxiety come back into your day, because you definitely don't want anxiety when you're going to bed, because then you're not going to sleep. And then that's going to create a whole new set of problems. So
Yeah, right. And that's where you relax and you envision your future and you look at what you have accomplished and
mhm.
you write down your gratitude and go to bed feeling like you've accomplished something.
Yes. Yes. And we, in the education world, we call it bite-sized steps or action steps. So keep it bite-sized. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. So keep it one bite and then move forward that day, and then be reflective in that and what you can change. Definitely. This was great stuff today. Wow. I really feel like this was very spirit led today. You know, we talked a while back, and there I was listening to that again recently, and it was packed full of information. We had talked about your mom and her still fulfilling her purpose, and I was super encouraged going into this and thinking today, you know, we're going to take it in a different way, and I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but God always leads us where we need to go. And he always brings in something from the week that I have heard and gives me a way to put that into my message. And so thank
Mhm.
you again for joining us for the second time. I love it. It was wonderful having you back on the show. And I am very appreciative that you carved out the time to be on the show a second time.
Absolutely. It was great to visit with you today. And I hope that all the ladies listening have found something in today's message that has helped them and that will move them forward.
Well, I sure did. I have more notes. I have like 3 pages of notes from our last two sessions. So I take lots of notes, and I hope my ladies do too. So tell us, Michelle, how can we connect with you after today's show is over?
Okay, so my website is being built. I think I mentioned that maybe last time.
Uh-huh.
So right now, the best way to get in touch with me is or connect with me or follow me on Facebook on my personal profile, just Michelle Kinnett. You can send me a friend request. I love to chat with people in the DMs, so you could always reach out with questions, conversations. I am open to that for a direct message. And I have an email address that is coach@michellekinnett.com. And if you would like to receive a weekly email, you can email me and I can put you on that list and we can connect that way as well.
Awesome. And as always, I will have all of that information in the show notes, so you will not have any problem connecting with Michelle after today's show airs. So have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining us, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.